How's it going, everyone? This is Josh from Football Talk with JB, and I'm joined by. Can you introduce yourself, Coach?
Matt Mellown, Carroll High School.
Yes, sir. He's the head coach. This is his first year at Carroll of Ozark, and well, so far I know you guys got your first win on Friday night on the new turf too.
Yeah, man, we had kind of a rough start. Anytime you take over a program, and especially one that lost as much as we did on the offensive side of the ball, it's a big learning curve. But I think we're starting to get better, man. We got a pretty tough matchup this week playing Montgomery Catholic, but our kids are starting to understand the offense a little more, and we're starting to see some progression now. I think by this time next year we're gonna be pretty strong. So it was good to play at home. Finally, it was our first home game of the year. We've been on the road all season long, so our kids really embraced the fact that we got to play at home on the new turf and in front of the home crowd.
Oh, that's awesome, and you guys have played a very tough schedule up to this point too, so that's only going to make you better playing tough games like that.
Yeah, I mean, we started out with Russell County, who's having a really good year, and then we had a tough Rehoboth team that runs the single wing, and then we went to Elmore County, and then we've had Eufaula, Charles Henderson, just and all those are solid football teams. Nobody's just unbelievable, but they're all really, really solid teams, and they're all having pretty good years. So it's been a tough start for us, man, but our kids have been resilient, and they continue to play hard.
Oh, absolutely, and I know before you got to Carroll, you were the offensive coordinator at Andalusia. Actually helped lead them to a state championship in 2022. How was that being able to be an offensive coordinator for a state championship team?
Oh man, I mean, I'm from Andalusia, so it was really special in that regard too. But those are memories, Josh, that you don't ever forget. Those are things that stick with you forever. I tell our kids all the time, you don't care about I got the ring on my desk, and that's great and all, and I love to put it on every now and then, but for the most part, man, it's not about winning the ring. It's not about winning the trophy. It's about those memories you make with those kids and those coaches and that community. And it was a really, really special time, man, and I'll never forget it. But we got to try to do something here that hadn't been done in a long time. Just compete at the high level and win playoff games, and that's something Andalusia's done a really good job of. But we did when I was there, and Coach Taylor's done a good job of it before that. So we're trying to do something similar here at Carroll.
Oh yes, sir, absolutely, and I do believe y'all will get there. I've heard from a few coaches that you're one of the best offensive minds in the state, so I believe y'all can get there.
I don't know about that, man. We're currently second to last in 5A football and points scored, but I think it's because of the transition to my system, and it's a pretty complex system, and I don't know that our kids fully understood it until sometime maybe last week, and we really made a lot of strides though, man, and understanding what to expect, and and the play calls and how they kind of shape up on Friday nights, and it's a lot that goes into what we do on offense, but I think it makes it where we can be really, really multiple, and I feel like going forward, we can do some things that give people a problem. And we're not talented enough on offense right now, Josh, to be super static and stand there and play and run doubles and trips every play. And just if we were really loaded, we might could do that. But we're having to move a lot, move people around and shift in motion and trade every play, and try to give our kids a chance to be successful.
Oh, absolutely, and the talent will come. The development will be there. It just it's a process. It takes time.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can get kids excited about football here. I mean, I think it starts in the young classes and the youth football leagues, but hopefully having a new field, a new stadium, we can get kids excited about wanting to play football in this area. And there's some really talented kids in our school that, that could help us that aren't playing football at the moment. Maybe they're basketball kids, maybe they're baseball kids or whatever. So we got to get all those guys out. But overall, I've really, really been pleased with the way our kids have competed. And I told them after the game Friday, I was happy to win, but I was even more happy that, they could have given up, man. At 0-5, there's a lot of programs and teams and kids just would have packed it in. So I think our kids are going to fight to the end.
Yes, sir. And like I said, it'll take it's a process, but usually like when I go over the teams, I like to start with the offensive line because in my opinion that's the part you can't run a car without a motor, just like you can't run an offense without an offensive line. How is the offensive line progressing so far this year?
Man, they started out kind of rough, and we've moved some people around, and had a few snap issues, but we're starting to figure it out, man. Starting to get some pieces in play. We have a really good tight end, Desmond Parker, who's a junior, and so we put him at tight end, moved our other tight end to tackle, and we've got our best probably 5 on the field now. So really, they're probably the strong point of our offense at this point.
Yes, sir. And who's the quarterback, and who are some of those skill position guys that are kind of progressing along as well?
The quarterback is Holden Pollock. He's a junior. He's thanking with everybody else, but just learning the system. Didn't really know what he was doing, and finally starting to play really well. He threw for 230 yards Friday. I think he was like 12 of 19. So with 3 touchdowns. So he had a really big night Friday. He's starting to figure it out, and then we got Caden Vincent's our slot receiver. He's doing a good job for us. Jaden Roberts is a senior. He's an outside receiver for us. He's got a lot of speed. He's kind of the guy we try to get on the deep ball, and they're just figuring it out, man. But every week we're going to get better. Hopefully we can have a chance to compete in the next 4 weeks and win a couple of these games and maybe possibly get in the playoffs.
Yes, sir, and being able to get in the playoffs would be valuable experience for the future.
Yeah, I mean, I just think any positive like that for our kids is great. But I just want to end strong. I want our season to end on a positive note, no matter what. Yes,
sir, I definitely understand that, and I want to switch over to the defense. Who are some of those guys on defense that are going to be key for the future and that are keys, the building blocks for the future?
We're led by Quay White. Definitely our leader over there, him and Jack McLeod, both senior leaders. Elijah Horn, another senior leader. But we got some good young talent coming, man. Christian Morris, really, really good player at safety right now. Terry Wilson's doing a good job at corner. He had 2 picks Friday. Got a freshman linebacker, Carter Clark, who's getting a ton of playing time. He's started every game for us, and he's going to be a dude in the future. So, we got a lot of young guys players, especially linebacker and everything there. We're definitely still led by a couple seniors over there.
So, overall, it's a fairly young team right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've only got about 5 or 6 seniors that play a lot for us. So when we took over this year, we only had about 5 or 6 returning players, and then next year we'll have about 17 or 18 returning players. So we'll definitely be a little bit more experienced next year.
Yes, sir, and that's a good thing because you're obviously getting in there and putting your system in place and getting your program built. So it's very key for a lot of those young guys to get that valuable experience now.
Yeah, I mean, you can't put a price on getting those live games, but being able to see what they can do on film and being able to see how they compete and play, and what you do in practice is one thing, but what you can do on Friday night is a whole different app. And there's a lot more at stake on Friday nights than there are Monday through Thursday in practice. So Sometimes kids, rise up on Fridays, and sometimes kids kind of bow down. But these young guys have really done a good job. They really progressed as the year went on. That's a testament kind of to our coaches too.
Yes, sir. And speaking of those coaches, take a moment to brag on your coaching staff.
Hired a whole new coaching staff, man. Literally had to replace all but one coach from the previous staff. And so I hired Coach Griffin Wyndham for Enterprise, done a great job with our offensive line and special teams and the offense in general. And Logan Richards and Matthew Langston on offense. And then defensively, J.P. Spann, Raw White. Those guys are running the defense. And Rob brings an attitude to that side of the ball that, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of attitude on that side of the ball to play at a high level. He brings that to the table for us, and Coach Spann does a good job with the DBs. Damian Jackson does a good job with the corners. And Coach G is our D-line coach. He was the only returning coach from the previous staff. But that was the hard part, man. When you replace a whole new staff, you don't really know what those guys can do, because Coach G is the only one that can tell us, hey, this guy can do this guy can do that, and you have to see it for your own eyes. So next year I feel like we'll have a better understanding of what to expect from these players.
Yes, sir. So it sounds like not only is the team having to gel together, but the coaching staff is as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're all new, we're all figuring each other out, and figuring out what we're good at. I give these guys responsibilities and jobs and roles, and then, as we go, I figure out what guy's more suitable for what roles. And so, it doesn't always work out the way you have planned. At the same time, all these guys do a really good job and are really good kids.
Yes, sir. And I want to close out without giving too much away. What's one thing that jumps out? What's the one thing that jumps out on film when it comes to watching film on Montgomery Catholic?
Man, they're really athletic, really well coached. Don't give up anything on defense at all, man. They're as good as I've seen on defense. And I've faced them. I faced them 3 times the past 2 years. They beat us in week 2 years ago. We beat them in the semis, and they beat us last year. I felt like we kind of gave the game away last year at Montgomery Catholic in the first half, and a bunch of wide open guys. But this year they're as good as they've ever been, if not better, on defense. Obviously, they're missing Caleb McCreary at quarterback, but the dude they got by there is supremely athletic and does a really good job. And they're a problem, man. I mean, I'm watching them versus Pensacola Catholic team, and Pensacola Catholic beat Pace, who beat MGM and beat Andalusia pretty bad, and Montgomery Catholic's making them look, like they're a pretty bad football team. So they present a lot of challenges, especially from the an offensive standpoint. I just want our kids to play hard versus them. I want our kids to compete, and not back down from them. I think everybody knows what Catholic brings to the table as far as from a program standpoint. We just got to make sure that we go out and compete the right way.
Absolutely, Coach, and I want good luck on Friday night. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you probably got a game to prepare for, but I appreciate you coming on, Coach.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you having me, Josh. Good luck with everything.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and have a good day, Coach.
All right, goodbye.
All right, guys. That was Coach Matt Mellown. He's the head coach at Carroll of Ozark, and I believe he's going to build Carroll of Ozark into something special in the future. But with that being said, peace out, everybody.